Hello you two, this is Mrs Gosling speaking to you today. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Miss Chellis and Mrs Chiswell would like me to say hello on their behalf. We all miss you very much and so are glad of the emails that you have been sending us. We can see that some of you have been really busy. I've been busy too, making a scrapbook album of my family. It's my great aunt. This is my grandmother, who loved to dress up. So now all I have to do is write her story in here. And then these are my great-great-grandparents. And this is my granddad with his sister when they were young and when they were a little bit older, or a lot older. I've just got some notes here to remind myself of the writing I've got to do. And next page I'm going to do is about my grandfather. And it's one of him as a choir boy, playing with one of his toys outside. Look at his little curly locks. This is when he's a little bit older. And then as a young man. And there he is again. Hasn't he changed? That reminds me of one of your targets for this week. Here it is in Mindfulness, PSHE. It says, how have you changed as you've grown? And now it's asking you to draw and write about the different things that you could do when you were a baby. It's a good idea to ask your parents or older brother and sister. A toddler. So what we like as a toddler and what you can do now, and then think about what you do as you grow up. And the resources look like this. So at the top here we want you to draw some pictures about what you might look like, and at the bottom we want you to write. What else have you got to do this week? So in English, we want you to begin by recapping on the story of Jack and Beanstalk from last week. And then we want you to read the story written by another child from a different school in Year 2 that have used the story to make their own version. They've adapted it. And then think about how it's changed. And the main difference is that Jack has changed into Poppy. And the other changes, read the planning your story. We want you to plan and write your own story. What would you change and what would you keep the same? You could use a story maps or mountains. It's a good idea if you combine the writing with the little pictures. It will help you have a better idea of what you're going to do. You might want to start writing by saying, once upon a time there was a girl called Julie who lived with her mum. It's not a bad sentence, but I'm thinking we can up-level this and make it even more interesting by saying, once upon a time, there was an intelligent, daring and adventurous girl called Julie who lived with her adoring mum. You can continue by saying, one morning mum asked Julie to go and sell their cow in the market. But again, we can improve on this sentence by adding some more adjectives. So early one cold morning, Mum asked Judy to go and sell their poor old and frail cow at the local farmer's market. These two sound much better. Now don't forget, when you're writing, use your adjectives, your verbs and your adverbs. In maths this week, we would like you to have a go at adding and subtracting numbers, in particular 2-digit numbers. If you go to these links here, that will remind you of the different strategies that you can use. We would, however, like you to have a go at using the bar model. Clicking onto here will give you a YouTube video of how to do this. But I'm going to show you how I would do it. The bar model is like a little table. The two parts here are called parts, and the bottom one here is called the whole. It doesn't matter if it's this way up or that way up, as long as you remember that the row with the dividing line are the 2 parts, or it could be 3 parts depending on your sum. And this bit with no dividing lines is the whole. Right. I have got the sum 26 plus 13. The way I would do this is by partitioning my 2 numbers. So 26 would be 20 plus 6. 13 would be 10 plus 3. I have partitioned these into tens and ones. I'm now going to move my tens and ones onto my bar model. I'm going to put my tens on this side, my ones on that side, and then I'm going to put the whole here. So my tens are 20 plus 10, which equals, correct, 30. Here I'm going to put my ones, which is 6 plus 3, and that equals, yes, 9. At the bottom, I'm going to add them together. So that's the 30 from that side, plus the 9 from this side. And together, that makes 39. Well done. So 26 plus 13 equals 39. You can also use the White Rose Maths link to do other maths. But whatever you do, enjoy it. For science, we want you to investigate more about carnivorous plants. Look at this one. It's caught a fly of some sort in its mouth. Ooh. Right, so if you click onto these links, you'll find out more about them. And that should help you to draw and design your own carnivorous plant. You can write a paragraph explaining how it catches its prey. What name will you give it? What colour will it be? And what does it smell like? There's some examples in the word maths for you, okay? Now for music, there are 2 lovely songs there for you to click on and listen to and have a go at trying to learn. For geography, over here in the middle, so we want you to find out about Oceania and Australia. And then for history, about roads and parks. Really looking forward to see what you do about that. For art, you're going to investigate this man. His name is Vincent van Gogh, and he's a really famous artist. He drew this painting called The Sunflowers. Think about the colour and the shape that he's used. And it says, can you create your own? Okay. You can have a look at real flowers or copy his picture. Then in design and technology, we want you to draw and design your own plant pot. And there's some examples there for you to have a look at. And then there's a link of how you can make your own. If you go to think about your physical exercise, have you been following Joe Wicks? He's great, isn't he? Really gets your heart pumping. But don't worry if you haven't. As long as you've been doing some exercise outside, either your hula hoop or your skipping rope or playing with a football, or even encouraging your rest of your family to have a go playing a game of badminton or tennis. Any exercise will be good. So then last of all, mustn't forget reading. Really important. I've been doing lots of extra reading. And so you've got your bug club to go to. And for this week, we've got the story of Kate and the Beanstalk for you to listen to. I might have a go at doing this before I did my English story. Might help you, might give you some ideas. Anyway, have you heard any good news this week? I heard about the wild white stork chick that hatched in England. It was the first to do so for approximately 100 years. They were based in the West Sussex area of England. That's down here at the bottom. Now that was a few weeks ago. So I wonder if you've heard any more recent good news. Maybe you could email them to us at year2@purfleetprimary.co.uk. I mean, we've enjoyed looking at your lovely work that you've been doing. I'm really astonished by the results. It was fantastic. So well done to you. And remember, you are amazing. Unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. So I'm going to say goodbye and take care. And remember, don't forget to email us. Bye.